Hey everybody, it's been a while since I put out a video of flying, so I thought I'd share with you a collection of some of the footage I've captured. Gonna have some of the bloopers, I guess, because I'm flying a lot of the same areas, and here's one where had a failed launch, uh, had to jump the curb to kind of get back under the wing, ran through the grass for a little while, and kind of got in a muddy spot, and obviously things didn't go well. So not one of my best days. Here's another one where this is what happens when you fly with floats. They have a CO2 cartridge and a little cylinder that if it get trigger that if it gets wet, it'll set it off, and it went off in flight. And I checked the expiration date. Mine were overdue, were expired, and I'd flown through a lot of fog, a lot of foggy mornings. You'll see some footage of that. I think I just wore them out. Here's a little more serious one. I was at the beach. It was relatively high winds. I was by myself, although there's other, let's call them spectators, other people fishing in the area. Messing around. I can't decide if I want to try to get the wing in a cobra, kind of a cobra launch situation or not. Anyway, ended up pulling it up. Have to run to the wing a little bit. All is good, and I basically am really just chill and relax here. And I turn around and just kind of went brain dead. Didn't hit the gas quick. Wasn't ready to take a step back, and stepped on a hill, and they call it a turtle. Um, Kind of fortunate that my vehicle was there, but really the vehicle being there was one of the reasons I didn't hit the gas. I knew I was getting back close to it, and I was like, oh no, I'm not going to hit the gas. I'm just going to accept the fall and the turtle. And but anyway, definitely not a good day. I just got, I don't know if complacent's the right word, but I was focused on doing it right in the bringing the wing up through the tough part of inflating it. And then once I turned, I just kind of like just went brain dead. Here's one where my failure was, let's say, maybe in the pre-flight or the initial run-up. The inflation is great, and I just ran. The engine never quite spooled up enough to get me off the ground. I figured I'd run long enough down the road.
What the
I was
heck?
going to stop. The wing it was staying up nice. I was going where I wanted to go. Just didn't warm it up enough. And so here's Jamie showing me how you do it the very same morning. He got up, got off. Apologies for the camera. Another one of the bloopers is not properly cleaning the lens on my 360 camera in the morning, but that's what the footage is. Just to show that there's no blooper here, although I do have one if you go back in my videos of where a water foot drag didn't go well and I ran through the water. Didn't stop, but this was just one of those mornings. This is why you get up and you suffer through the bloopers. Beautiful morning, skimming along the edge of a pond here, so where I'm water foot dragging, it's 1-2 inches deep. Here's a more common situation. Just I don't know if you call it a blooper. I'm out in the field and a little twig gets caught up in the lines, and you got to clear it. And this particular day, it happened on the first one, and you clear it away so the lines are free and clear. Pull it up again, and I've got another one. Same thing on the right side of your picture, but the left side of the wing. And clear that. Same sort of situation. Pull it up again, and there's still problems. It keeps picking up. That's one of the challenges. We've got nice open areas, but they're just not beautifully kept grass. Lots of twigs and stuff in the fields, and occasionally you get a little damage to your wing with that sort of stuff. But eventually pulled it up. Yeah, again, here's not a blooper, but I got to fly with some balloons down around the West Houston, Katy, Texas area. Several short clips of footage from balloons. That particular balloon got a little close to a power line on one occasion here. This is a different day, but I think the same bunch of guys. Some of the balloons out again, and there's one up there on the right. Looks like he was landing instead of one of the big open fields, he landed in one of the yards of, I don't know what kind of company that is, but landed in their yard and took away. Here's James, one of my flying buddies. This, I believe he told me, was his first water foot drag. So good job, James. He was just dipping his toe in a little bit, so little bits here and there, but did a good job. He didn't have any runs or crashes in the water, so I think thoroughly enjoyed himself. So that's all you can ask for. And of course, every once in a while, somebody else has some trouble. So I pulled out my pumpkin. Thanks, Tony, our NCPBG pilot, I think it is, and give it a toss to my buddy Jamie, who was stranded down in the field, just to help. It's nice to have a wing bag. Here's one where it's the fault is had a great flight, but not pre-flighting your camera. Big old smudge right in the center of the lens. And some nice footage of James cutting through some of the fog that we had. Beautiful morning. Only blooper here, not really blooper. I wish I would have got a little better angle. I've got a video cutting the fog, I think is the title of it, where I did a much better job of getting a little better angle, and just the footage was quite a bit better. Although this was pretty awesome, so can't complain too much. There's chasing Brandon. He's been out a lot more lately. We're out by one of the quarries. And I made a trip to Oklahoma in midsummer. Got up there, they happened to have their Fire Lake Balloon Festival going on, so I managed to get out with some of the local Oklahoma City pilots. I think 9 of us, 8 others showed up from their group, and I got to fly briefly with them. It was a kind of a damp morning, a little threatening of some rain, so I just made a quick pass or two as some of the balloons were launching. And I guess that same trip, same weekend, I went up to Seminole, Oklahoma, and launched from the airport. Before I could launch, one of the, I think it was an air evac helicopter, must have been based out of the airport where I was setting up, and they were putting their helicopter away. Brought it out here. I guess that's their routine, come to the kind of the end of the hangars. Maybe they're just checking out what I was doing, because they had come into the refueling spot a little bit earlier and landed. And I had to grab a hold of the wing, make sure they didn't blow it away. But they taxied down between. To me, it looked really tight for a helicopter. I'm sure they're used to doing it. But they taxied down between the hangars and went and parked and pushed their helicopter in. Anyway, after they got done, I set up. I moved my wing a little bit further. You can see their hangar down there off in the distance that they had rolled into, and one of the guys came out and watched me launch from the corner of the building there. So got myself in the air and had a nice little run around the town. Had a couple guys from the local fire department come and say hello to me. They were just curious about what, all the usual questions of paramotors when I landed that evening. That was pretty cool. Here's the more typical evening flight. I think that is with chasing Brandon around, doing a few passes behind him, just enjoying beautiful. One of the fun things, one of the areas we fly, there's often local general aviation pilots fly from their grass strip aviation community around with us, and I've gotten to kind of know them over the radio a little bit. This guy, the guy that was buzzing around us this time, I hadn't flown around him before, hadn't been able to talk to him. So I popped on the radio, said, hey, good to see you, love to be flying out here with you. But it kind of reminded him, hey, wake turbulence, don't try not to get upwind of us if you could help it. So he said he'd do that, and had a good evening. Here's a landing. I'm going to bring it to a close. This is one where maybe a little bit of overconfidence. I fell out of the air, just had a little more drop than I'm used to. It was just kind of misjudged it, but minor thing. So as you can see, good landing. So that's what's been up, guys. Hope everybody stays safe and has a good one.